Hello everyone! There's no fucking about today, no digital graphic nonsense at the start. I just thought I'd say hello and play some songs. I am toasting the launch of the pre-order today with a cup of herbal tea. This is called After Dinner Tea. Hope you've got a nice drink as well. I just wrote a little message, but you might not be able to see it, which is to say, please, in the chat, please say hi and say where you're from if you want to say hello to everybody. And if you're new to the world of Penfriend, I'd love to know that as well. And if you've got any questions for me for in the middle of the set, I would love to answer those, but please write question at the start because I'm not wearing contact lenses or glasses and I can't see anything. So I need your help. Thanks. I thought I'd keep things simple-ish today. I just felt like sitting down and talking to you and playing some songs. So that's what we're going to do. This is my new guitar. I'm calling it Coral Fang. Oh, oh, oh. Happy birthday, time to say goodbye. Such a big girl, keep all this inside. Dial back those dreams, wishing impossible things, bursting your seams. It hurts when we grow. Tell me what you wanted, I was 17. Tell me I deserved it, because I was 17. Toxic teens on mixtape afternoons, photostatic memories of you, wallpaper planes, pull them apart when it rains, smash window panes, stretching our wings alone. Tell me what you wanted, I was 17. Tell me I deserved it, I was 17. Tell me you remember, I was 17. Tell me you remember, because I was 17. I was 17. Tell me you remember, I was 17. Give me a good reason, I was 17. Tell me you're so sorry, I was 17. I stole a car in a dream and now I'm feeling paranoid. Well, I spent so long ignoring my instincts, now I'm searching to destroy. I'll start a fire. fire while the world burns. I'll start a fire, I'll start a fire. So I sink these heavy words in a diary and take them all to heart. Gonna build myself a fortress of vanity and then I'll fall apart. I'll start a fire while the world burns. I'll cut connections while the planet turns. I'll start a fire cause it seems we're elbow deep in cheap banalities. I'll start a fire, I'll start a fire. While the planet turns, I'll start a fire cause it seems we're elbow deep in cheap banalities. I'll start a fire, I'll start a fire. Called I'll Start a Fire. That's going to be a single actually with a video and everything. I'm looking forward to making that soon-ish. Everything's soon-ish. I'm going to play a couple more songs and then we can have a chat. So if you do have questions for me, I was going to say they can be as weird as you like, but I've met some of you, so I don't want to invite too many ridiculous questions. Although actually, I'm up for it. Ask me anything weird that you like. I can't promise I'll answer. The eagle-eyed amongst you might notice that I've moved the launch pad around, because when I used to play gigs in here and do things, the desk was here. I don't know if you can see my hand even, but the desk was here, so I accidentally had made the room very narrow by putting things in the wrong place, basically. So I fixed that. I've done the clever thing where I just tidy the bits you can see and everything else is just piles of garbage. It's not garbage, obviously. It's just equipment and cables and stuff. Stuff that would make people feel anxious, probably, if they saw them. If you can see this plant's mostly dead. It looks terrible. But this bit's okay, so you get to see this bit. It's been a weird few months. It's been a weird year. What can I say? This song wasn't written about anything we've all been going through, but it seems appropriate. So that's handy, as it's on the album that's coming out in May. Many of you actually own that album now, or you own the promise of that album. So thank you so much for doing that. Yeah, I'm going to have a chat to you in a minute. I'm just going to play this song. I've got cables going all over my body as well, if you think that's strange. It is strange. Voices randomly breathless. Gotta get off of this sinking ship. water's deafening. I'm still dreaming of drowning, trying to escape this relentless planet, but my dreams are paper thin. Tuck the violence in your pillow, surf the silence, but don't swallow all the tears. Wishing these days could be over, going to bed when it's light outside, and I flew 10,000 miles. I'm sea shaken and screaming, doing my best, but I've got to go. Don't expect me for a while. Tuck the violence in your pillow, surf the silence, but don't swallow all the tears. Tuck the violence in your pillow, surf the silence, but don't swallow. Tuck the violence in your pillow. Stand and fight now, meet me tomorrow. I'm so relieved this live stream is working okay. It's incredibly complicated, and I am super geeky and really into all of this, what goes where, plugging stuff in. But every time, I'm just like, come on, please work. So kudos to all of the artists who have been doing very regular live streams over the past year. I guess that's how they've got it down so slickly. Slickly, is that a word? Because of just doing it all the time. I'm just, super relieved that it's working today, because it's been a busy few weeks in Penfriend. At Penfriend HQ. Very busy. First we were making the video, we're making the Exotic Monsters video, which if you haven't seen it, it's so silly and weird. Please watch it straight after I've played to you tonight. I'd love you to watch that if you haven't seen it. Tim helped me make that, and that took a really long time. And then setting up the shop for the pre-order took us a really long time. I'm not complaining, just explaining why I feel so relieved to be sitting here, just playing some songs to you nice simple thing to do. And even the live stream is working, so that is just really a very good day. Very good day all round. Cheers to you for helping me have a really nice day. Thank you so much. It's nice to have a nice day. This is a song called Out of the Blue. Now this song and 17, which I played at the start, and Sea Shaken, which I just played, the album versions have piano on them. And some of you might be fans of an artist called The Anchoress, or Catherine N. Davies, and she played piano on the record on those 3 songs. I wrote the parts and sent them to her and said, please embellish them if you like, and she decided not to, and just played exactly what I sent, which was great, and sounds really beautiful. So yeah, I'm very excited. I'll have to measure my excitement out over the next 12 weeks. We'll get there. Okay, this is called Out of the Blue.
Rain on my cheek, so tired of pretending I'm getting lost again. Sea legs are weak, the tide's never ending. Capsize my only friend. I'm going, ooh, nowhere. But I'll come back to you. Lift my head out of the blue. Ink on my wrist, a sign for protection. My skin, my only shield. When every note's a cry for affection, those bruises never healed. I'm going, ooh, nowhere. But I'll come back to you. Lift my head out of the blue. Yes, I'll come back to you. Lift my head out of the blue. The ukulele is going under the desk again.
I thought I was going to have time to paint the studio this weekend, which now appears to have been a ridiculous idea, and I think I'm just going to rest. It's been so full on. I'm going to look at your questions. I might have to put my specs on because I really can't see anything. Oh, hello. Oh, you're all being very nice, aren't you? Of course. Right, I'm going to scroll through and look for questions. And later on I'll scroll through and properly eavesdrop on all of your conversations instead. No questions, just supportively watching. Question: with festivals now being okayed, are we going to get a Penfriend tour? I'm torn on what to say here, because I've got an honest answer, and I've got an answer that's more taking people's feelings into consideration. But as we're a small group today, because it's correspondence only, maybe I'll just give you the honest answer, which is hell no. Because Tim and I have taken this lockdown situation very seriously for a whole year. I would feel it would be wrong to put a tour on sale for many reasons, but the main reason is I haven't seen a single member of my family. I haven't been in a room with them for over a year, since January the 12th last year. So until I'm able to see them and be with them, I'm not putting anything on sale that's taking me somewhere else with other people. And that's all. I suppose that's the entire answer I need to give. That's the reason why. I want to say I'm hopeful for festivals, but I'm not hopeful for festivals. I don't believe that you can just decide that it's going to be fine in a few months, and it magically will be. If it is, that's really cool, and that's great. And I really hope that for people like you lot, who really want to go to gigs and have that, those unique moments, that release, all of that brilliant stuff, I hope you get to have that this year. But I'm saying no. I'm thinking about making a video about why I'm not going to be playing this year. I'd rather decide not to play and then not play than decide I'd love to play and then not get to play as well. Because, I don't know if you realise, artists are quite sensitive folk, as are you, but we specialise in feelings, and it's really hard to keep having things pushed back and hopes dashed, as it is for you, but it really is. So it's just not something I'm inviting in. So that's a long answer to say hell no. Sorry. If I could just come and be with you, I'd love to, but I just don't think it's at all safe. Sorry, Ian. Okay. What's the best and worst thing about this stage of releasing a new record? That's a really good question. The best thing about it is that it's on its way towards you. That's really great. I love that. I suppose the worst thing, what would the worst thing be? Should I be brutally honest again? I think I've gone down that I've gone down that route already. One of the worst things is sort of like getting a bit despondent about how well or not it will be received. And I don't mean whether people will like it or not in the sense that will affect how I like it or not, because I love this record. I would not be bothering to do all this work to put it out independently if I didn't totally love it. But, of course, every time I put a record out, I would love it if there was a little bit of help in the world where people would help to spread the word and also give it some credibility in the press and things like that. So the worst thing about this part of it is trying to get that stuff happening and trying to hope that stuff will happen, because it does help a bit. But the most important thing of all is that people who love what I do share the shit out of it, because that is how things spread. So whenever you hear about an overnight success, I hope you realise that it's taken a long time to come. Bands, books, all sorts, it's all come from somewhere. And if you're interested in reading more about this, there's a book called Hitmakers I read a few months ago, which explains a lot of the stuff behind a lot of so-called overnight successes of songs and books and things. It's really interesting because it explodes those myths that something just went viral, because that is so rare. And even if it does happen, it's normally off something else, the back of something else. So, if you like what I do, please share it. I hate to ask, especially on social media and stuff. It doesn't look great to go, please share my video, but please share it. Please share my podcasts if you like them. Please share the videos if you like them, because there's only so much I can do, and I run up against a limit of bandwidth and energy a lot at the moment. So really, any help is so gratefully received. Maybe you don't realise how important you can be, but if you look at what happened today, Mogwai went to #1. They're an independent band releasing music on their own label. That's how things can happen. They did that because they're a great band, but because people bought their record because they wanted to support them and they wanted this cool thing to happen. So that's how things happen. All I can do is make the thing and go, please, world, help me share it. So that's what I'm doing. And that is really exciting. That's the fun part of it. I like most of it. It's just a lot of admin's boring, but at least it's admin for something decent. Question: how has this album differed to others because of COVID/lockdown? It hasn't differed to others because of COVID or lockdown. It's differed to others because I decided in 2019, way before all this, that I was going to record everything in this room. I just decided that it was time for me to fully engineer as well as produce the record. A tiny piece of that is because every time I put something out, it gets credited to the nearest man who's helped me do mixing or something, which is incredibly frustrating. And I'm not alone. This happens to a lot of female artists and producers. But mostly it was because I wanted to do it myself. That's the real reason. So I recorded half of the album in August 2019, and then I suppose how this album differed from the others was that it was a real emotional struggle to finish the album in 2020. I mean, of course, because it was an emotional struggle to do anything in 2020. So that was hard, but it was, powered by you lot, because knowing that I had people who really wanted this thing really helped me push through. And also because this is my full-time job, and showing up to it as a job and putting the time in and turning up again and again and again is really the only option, because I don't have anything else anymore, so, which I love. So it wasn't like the pressure was on or anything, but it's just what I do now, so I had to do it. So that, I suppose that's how it's differed, but it's not necessarily because of COVID and lockdown. It's because of being a full-time pen friend and stuff. Yes. I'm doing long answers, I do apologise. Matt Farmer says, will you be able to give us correspondence the patterns to make our own animal heads from the Exotic Monsters video? I can't give them to you because they're designed by somebody else, but the links to the mask making people, so why am I saying this in such a confusing way? If you go to the Exotic Monsters video on YouTube, there are links in the description to the masks, to the designs. So there are 2 different companies that make a plethora of amazing weird masks, and it's the designs for the masks. So you pay for a PDF and then you print them out on card or paper or whatever, and then you fold them yourself. And it's not hard. It takes a little while. It does take about 3 or 4 hours per mask, which is what I mostly spent my time doing in January. But it was really good. It was really therapeutic. I really enjoyed it. So I can't give them to you because they're not mine, but you can buy them, and they would love it if you would support their small business. So feel free to do that. I will maybe I should make more of that, because I thought that was clear, but if it's not, then I'd really love people to buy their masks because they're really good. And I just bought them and did them because that's how it was. They're like £5 each, something like that. Question: will the Exotic Monsters hardback book be available to buy on its own? Yes, and it is. It is available to buy on its own. If you go onto that page, the Shopify shop, and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a merch bit. It's in there on its own. Yes. I'm looking forward to finishing that. Question: what made you reference the Talking Heads dance moves in the video? Well, it was a lack of ideas of our own, to be honest. I'm not a dancer. I have danced in the past in like dance classes and stuff, and I really like it, but I don't have my own moves really. So we did some research, Tim and I just watched a load of weird videos, and one of the big inspirations for the weirdness of the video was just watching Missy Elliott videos, because just bonkers shit happens for no reason, and then all of a sudden you just see someone else standing somewhere weird. So we just felt emboldened by that, so that was good. And then I just wanted some dance moves that we could do. And then we watched Once in a Lifetime, and I was like, that choppy thing was really good. And then I made up the sort of bouncing one. We were doing that. it just came to me. So it was inspired by Talking Heads. I think Talking Heads music is so brilliant anyway. Oh, Tim's already answered the question about the book. Hello. Question: has lockdown altered the people who could help in the making of the new LP? Such as, would you have had guest singers, musicians participate more had things been normal? Very good question. No, not at all. Because again, I was going to record it at home anyway. My drummer, Max, records remotely. I don't even know if he would come to a studio. I suppose he would. But he records remotely, and that suits me down to the ground because, to be quite honest, at this stage of my life, I have helped enough drummers with their drum kits up many flights of stairs, and I can't be bothered anymore. So it suits me greatly that there's someone who's got his own stuff set up, can record beautifully, send stuff back to me over the internet. We can go back and forth on it. He'll play drums exactly to something that I've programmed, or he'll come up with his own stuff if you need. So he's perfect person. I love him. And Catherine also just did stuff remotely from her studio, and I really like that because I just like getting on with stuff, and it's nice not to have to get everyone together. I just know that sounds ridiculous. Like it would be lovely to get everyone together at this point because we've all been on our own for so long, but it is really nice, and that was the intention with the record, is to do it that way. I did used to have more guests on my records, and I suppose I just got to the point where I just didn't feel that there were any bits that needed to be added onto by other people at all on this record. I just wanted it to be very specific. So even the stuff, the guests are playing what I asked them to play or what I programmed. So, yeah. Let's have a look. Question: we were talking about coloured vinyl in the forum earlier, and I was just wondering how it works. Is there a catalogue of colours you choose from? Would you enter the hex code? I'm just curious. That's a very good question. They have a catalogue of colours. I think they might do custom ones if you pay more money. And there are different sort of splatter options where you can mix colours with other colours and stuff, but I just wanted to pick the colours that match the artwork that we created. So there's the green of the planets, and then there's the yellow on the planets as well, and the space blue. So that's why I picked them. I just wanted them to go together well, for it all to be... I just saw another question. For it all to fit together and look really beautiful and put together. How do you keep your glasses so clean and shiny? Mine are always dirty. These glasses are filthy, but I've got 2 lights shining on them. So I think that's why they look shiny. That's really funny. Oh, good, I haven't offended you talking about not wanting to play any shows. Good. Is it okay if I record this? You can do, Chris, but there's no need because it's just going to be... Oh yeah, as Neil's just saying, it's just going to be on YouTube, so just watch it on YouTube. Yeah, okay. I think that's all the questions, unless I'm missing something. Question: is a collaboration with Thea really likely? Ian Faulkner's been spying on me on the internet. No, not spying, obviously, it was a public tweet. Thea Gilmore was making, I think, a joke about how me, her, and this other musician should create a really bonkers band, and I just called her on her bluff and said, well, why don't we do something? Because I'd love to make some music with her, with friends, and have a lot of respect for each other. She's a super cool woman. So I'm going to email her next week and call her on her bluff again and say, yes, let's get on with this, do something. But I do have Obey Robots as well, which is going really well. So we're writing more songs at the moment. So I can only do so much, but I'll do my best. Right, okay. I'm going to take these off so I just feel strange. What was I going to say to you? I was just going to say thank you very, very much for buying the record if you have done. Tim and I worked really hard to put bundles together. He's the bundle king, actually. He put all of that stuff together and did all the numbers while I did other things to do with the shop. We just wanted to make sure that there was stuff for everybody. And just so thankful for you for supporting this record. Because I never know how honest, again, I'm talking about honesty, I'm never going to lie to you, but I don't know how brutally honest people want musicians to be about how things are done, like how expensive it is, or like how it's done. So I'm not going to bang on about it, I'm going to play some more songs, but if you're interested in knowing more things, I can tell you in blog posts and whatnot, because basically I need to break it. I do need to break even on this record, and it's quite a way off, even though you've all been extremely generous. So again, sharing the shit out of it is really helpful if it's something that you would feel comfortable doing. Because yeah, it's about just keeping this thing going. So my goals are always just to break even and then to make some money to make the next record. So that's it. But I am very grateful to you for getting on board. And yeah, I appreciate it's such a hard time. It's really weird to put something up for sale. I've got to tell you, so weird. Because I know that there's a lot of people in really difficult situations. I'm not saying I'm not in a difficult situation, but I know there are people in a lot more difficult situation than I am. So yeah, it's weird, but thank you for taking it in the spirit in which it's intended, which is just to keep putting new things into the world, because that's what I'm here to do, I think. And there's going to be loads more stuff. So I'm going to be making some videos where I talk. I was thinking of calling them face mail, but maybe people won't understand what I'm on about. So if there's any topics you'd like me to cover in those, feel free to suggest stuff. And yeah, just more bits and bobs to keep an eye out. And I'm going to play two more songs? Oh, it might be 3 if you've got time. I don't even know what the time is now. Okay, it's okay. I'm going to blather on all night. Can you imagine how weird it's going to be for musicians when they get to play a song and actually hear someone applaud again? That's going to be really weird. I've never been great at taking applause in the best of times. Someone else has asked a question. If you could name one point of inspiration for the new album, Laura, what would it be? A growing hatred of social media, I think. There's a lot of stuff about disconnection on there, feeling like you're on another planet. There's a thing about building a fortress of vanity, and then I'll fall apart in that song called I'll Start a Fire. So it's all to do with the journey from being super duper into the internet and being on all the time, and then realizing that it's not great for my mental health and my emotional well-being, and taking some pretty harsh steps towards getting away from it, putting some distance in between myself and it, using it for really good things. There's a thing called digital minimalism, which is a way of using it in a way that benefits your life, where you don't get stuck scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, because we are being manipulated by people who know how addictive this stuff is to use it as much as possible to keep their share prices high. And I don't mean that to sound like some conspiracy theory, because it's not like that. It's not all evil or anything. I mean, Jackie Weaver retweeted my podcast the other day and I was just blown away. It was such a nice moment in my life, and that wouldn't have happened if I didn't use social media, and I might not know many of you if I didn't use that stuff. It's very powerful for good, but it's just about having that thing where you don't get sucked into it so that it makes you feel bad. So it's a lot to do with that kind of stuff. There's a song about global warming on there. There's what else is on there? A song about teenage trauma, which I played earlier on. It's a hoot, gotta tell you, it's a hoot. Neil says, are we going to have another correspondence Zoom call? We can definitely do that. I know that some people were super not into that, which is, I totally understand, because Zoom fatigue is a thing. But people who are up for it, we should. And we've been talking on the forum about having a ukulele Zoom at some point. So I'll just start setting some invitations up, and you can join if you like. I'll never be offended if you are not available to do things, or if it's not your thing. I'll never be offended if you just delete all my emails and only read them occasionally. That's fine as well. It's not homework, promise you. Right, I'm just talking shit now. Right. This is called Black Car, and it's going to be the next song we make a video for. At this point, I genuinely am interested. If you've got ideas for the video for this, feel free to send me an email, because I've got to come up with it pretty soon. Remember the summer when everyone stayed at home.
Ships in a bottle, stacked up with our lives on hold. If we could really see the warnings that were written before, if we could really feel, our hearts would smash all over the floor. Hear me now, I can feel the thunder march me out with a fallen number. Will there be, is there a black car waiting for me? Keep your loved ones close. This is surviving, but we're having a goddamn year. Tired of climbing, but the universe left us here. And on my worst of days, I want to keep wanting to be kind. But everywhere I see, machines are taking over our minds. Hear me now, I can feel the thunder march me out with the fallen number. Will there be, is there a black car waiting for me? Keep your loved ones close. Even on calm waters, waves will rise as my heart explodes. Laughing echoes dancing in my eyes. Keep your loved ones close. Keep your loved ones close. Keep your loved ones close. Hear me now, I can feel the thunder march me out with a fallen number. Will there be, is there a black car waiting? Hear me now, I can feel the thunder march me out with a fallen number. Will there be, is there a black car waiting for me? Keep your loved ones close. You have no authority here. You are very silly people. If you don't know who Jackie Weaver is, please Google her. It's so good. Sometimes the internet's absolutely amazing. I mean, a lot of the time, actually. This song came about because I was driving to a gig. Must have been a gig. It was a very long way, which is just how I used to spend my time. And I was behind a lorry, and it said the lorry on the back said "dependable bodies." I thought, what a brilliant phrase. And so I decided to write a song called Dependable Bodies, and then it changed to Dispensable Body. And that is... I've got to stop staring at the thing. And yeah, that's where this song came from. This was in the first batch of recordings, actually, so yeah, this is getting on a bit now, but still new, somehow. I'll start that again because my finger went weird. Dispensable body, knowledge is a curse. Feel the weight of the world, feel the weight of the universe. Gotta keep moving on, but I stopped listening. Had a hell of a go of it. Now I'm putting my heart first. Far away, looking back from this constellation, cast away, adrift on my own space station. Just breathe, just breathe. Shape of a human, born on a thunderclap. Words in a diary, perimeters intact. Tomorrow is today, so click your heels and think of me. From the eye of the hurricane, you're my safe path back. Far away, looking back from this constellation, cast away, adrift on my own space station. Just breathe, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. Far away, looking back from this constellation, cast away, adrift on my own space station. Far away from the loneliest generation, cast away. I'm a project of my own making. Just breathe, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe.
saying? It's going to be weird hearing the album, is it? Good. I like weird. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I don't think I've ever done this from your side. So I don't think I've ever got to know someone's songs before I hear the album, if you see what I mean. I can't speak. I haven't got to know the songs live and then heard the album versions, I suppose. So this is an interesting experiment. Quite obviously, there's a lot more going on the albums, but I learned many years ago at gigs not to sort of allude to that in that moment. I think Chris TT actually talked to me about that when I toured with him, because I probably was doing it then. So instead of sort of playing and then justifying yourself by going, oh, it's okay, the album's got drums on and like multiple guitar parts and like loads of vocals, you know, because when you're playing the gig, you're playing the gig. This is the thing we're doing right now. This isn't an advert for the album, if you see what I mean. And so my gigs to strangers, you know, on a support tour were not adverts for the better recordings that I had done, you know. It's just something different. So yeah, I mean, that song's very different in the recording, but I have to find ways to play them, or I choose to find ways to play them on my own. So yeah, it is different. I'm gonna practice Exotic Monsters to sing to you another time, because yeah, that's really hard. I tried to do it earlier and I was like, that's not good enough for those people. Let's see what you're saying. Yeah, the tea is pretty cold, but it's still nice because it's herbal, so it's not like gross milk, cold milk tea. Ugh. Right, I'm gonna play one more song, and it seemed only appropriate to play "The Only Way Out Is Through" because it's definitely helps me. Sometimes I write songs so that I've got something to help me later when I know I'm going to need it. Out of the Blue is one of those, and The Only Way Out Is Through is also one of those. Thank you so much for being correspondents. It means so much to me. It's really cool getting to know you all more as well. I know some of you were Super Sub Club people as well, but for some reason there's something about this way of doing it that makes me feel like I'm more connected to you. So thank you. If you spend any time in the forum and stuff, I appreciate it. Apologies that there have been no playlists for the past 2 weeks, but we both just like got maxed out on the stuff we were doing for the launch. So we'll be back next week with a playlist and stuff like that because it's fun. Just want to do fun stuff. And like I say, it's not homework. You know, it's all very much opt-in. I just want to make lots of presents for you, and you can choose which ones you would like to take. You know, you can choose which ones you want. And I always love to hear from you. And like I say, if you can do anything, if you want to do anything to help, that would be awesome. Just sharing stuff, enjoying stuff, telling me about bands you'd like to hear on the playlist, making a playlist. We'll find jobs for you if you like. There's lots to do. But most importantly, thank you so much for supporting what I do. Blows me away every time I think about it, which is a lot. And I'm just going to keep making more and more music because you're encouraging me to do it. And yeah, this stuff is coming to you really soon. I'm going to make videos, I'm going to do loads of stuff. So yeah, it's going to be good. It is already good. Oh, and it's nice that people are saying they like the forum. Yay! Okay, right, let's do this song. Feel free to sing along at home. And yeah, if you haven't watched the Exotic Monsters video, actually, even if you have, maybe straight after this, you could go and watch that for me. And it's just really nice to see people enjoying that stuff. We're going to make another one. It's going to have to be this week. All right. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you soon. To get out of this, making a meal of distress, fatalistic to the bone, thunder clouds in every home. Gotta get out of this. The only way out is through. Not gonna lose my heart.
get out of this, drowning in yesterday's tears, intimate conspiracies, shapeless forces pull at me. Gotta get out of this. The only way out is through. Not gonna lose my heart, I never meant to. The only way out is through. The only way out is through. Not gonna lose my heart, I never meant to. Wish on a falling star, but I won't let it go.
It's 21 hours.
Denial, take me away. Pretend like I'm not the queen of stretching the days in all the wrong ways till they break. Denial, take me away. I crave your sweet mistakes, but resistance is crucial. Forgiveness is beautiful. Oh. The only way out is through. Not gonna lose my heart, I never meant to. The only way out is through.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm applauding you now. Love you guys so much. Thank you very, very much for being here. I'm going to see if anyone's got any pressing issues before I sign off. Oh, you're just being really nice. Thanks. Thank you so much. Sending so much love to you and yours. Have a good weekend if you can. We've just got to keep going. Do you know what? The sunshine came through the window today and I was just like, maybe we can do it. Because I've been feeling really down the past few weeks, and this has been really, really hard. It's really hard, and it was just so cold and bleak and like dark outside, and getting up in the morning was just too difficult. And, oh, it was awful, and yeah, it was rubbish. But the sun is here, you know. There is hope. Please don't let me be a downer on the hope of festivals. Let's hope for festivals, let's hope for tours and gigs and everything to be okay. Let's hope for hugs from family and all of that stuff that we all want and need. Just keep going, we're going to get there, it's going to be fine. And of course I'll tour as soon as I can. I'd love to come and see you all. I'm thinking really, I just prefer to do a house concert tour or something. Just hang out, drink tea, have a hug, a few songs, that kind of thing would be I'd be much more into that. So once we're there, it'll be something I'll be asking you about, so for sure. All right, I'm going to go now, because I'm going to go and hug my husband. Yeah, sending love to you, and thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for buying my album. I promise it's really good. Okay, I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.